Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rena. If you're new here, then welcome. I just finished filming the giveaway video that I'm about to, I'm not quite sure, I think posted after this one. So if you haven't, consider subscribe because that's coming very soon, and all you have to do is basically subscribe to me and you're halfway through there. Yeah, stay tuned, that's coming out very soon. But today is the end of year empty series and this is going to be my final one. I think so. I had to think about my supplements. I'm not planning to put in supplements in this end of year's empty series because it's a lot, but I might show it in different forms in the future. I will definitely include in the future ones because I actually love including supplements. But this is gonna be the last empty series, and in this series we've got sunscreen, masks and makeups. Without further ado, let's just dive into today's video. If you like this content, don't forget to give me a like and consider subscribe down below. If you like some empties, I do have two already just for the 2021 end of year series. I'll leave those links down below as well, and I do special Christmas editions. By the time you're seeing it, Christmas should be already nearly finished, so happy new year. Oh my god, 2022. Right, stop thinking about 2022. Let's just focus on this box in front of me. I want to go through the makeup first because I found I don't have a lot, but in the makeups like pile I did put in like all my cleansing products, not like face wash but like micellar waters. I've got two little travel sizes. One first is the Avene micellar lotion. This is actually really good. I didn't think they would have such good makeup removers, but apparently this is really good. I remember loving it and I used it around my eyes and everything. There was no irritation. Why I'm doing my hair is like that. There's no irritations whatsoever. So if ever, you know, they have promotions where I need to buy two to save or something, I might actually consider repurchase. But you know, the product's a little bit pricey. So for a makeup remover, I'm kind of like, I love it, but would I go ahead and buy it? The other one is a cleansing micellar water. This one I received from, I think it's Priceline. I think it's a very, very so-so product, and this brand is not very cheap from the drugstore because there are a lot of good claims. Obviously that's really good, an Australian or New Zealand brand, but I wouldn't go ahead and purchase it. And then I have two other cleansers. First is this Pie Beauty or something light work rose hip cleansing oil. This is a travel size that I got from Cult Beauty. Oh my god, I heard so many people love about this one and I cannot agree with them. I mean, no offense, if you love it, that's so good for you, and I wanted to love it myself, but I found this one's really oily, leaving a foam around my eyes, and yet it only gives a very light cleansing ability. Like, it cannot even remove my mascara, eyeliner and all that stuff. And a lot of other makeup removers that I've got, oils or cleansing balms, they can surely do that. So I don't know why this is so expensive. I took this in January and then I only used this much. I hate it so much that I stopped using it, and then I just gradually get myself to finish it by the very end of it. So yeah, I'm so glad I received it as a gift, because I would kind of like go ahead and purchase because so many people loved it, but turns out it's not my cup of tea. And then something I do really like is the Estee Lauder Take It Away Makeup Remover Lotion. This is a travel size as well. If you purchase like Estee Lauder, their free gift bag, once you spend over a certain amount, you often get this. And this is actually really good. Maybe especially after using this, I went back to my Estee Lauder and I remember I was loving hate this. Sometimes I feel like it's not strong enough. I think if you have a really, really waterproof mascara, it's not going to be enough. But if it's a daily sort of makeup look, that's actually really enough. You know, it's super good to remove everything. So I actually really loving it now. I wouldn't go ahead and purchase it myself, but if I receive as a gift, I'll be like, oh my god, I have another one of these, you know, one of those situations. And getting into more of actual makeup, I've got a powder that I used completely. This is the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. It's just got a little bit hanging around the side. I cannot make it work. It's one of those powders I would still recommend if you're someone never start using makeup and you just want to dip your toes into makeup world, something really cheap, really affordable and still very workable. This is the one. If you start looking for like blotting the oil, make makeup last 10 hours long, you know, if you start adding and asking for more from this powder, you cannot get it. But if a basic setting powder, it's really good. Translucent, I think this is worth the money. Like, definitely worth the money. And then if you notice my voice, it's because I got a cold, and I did have COVID test and it was negative, but it was just, you know, it's not fully recovered just yet. I did also use up this concealer from CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. I already lost a shade, but I know it's a medium. It doesn't look like fully dry, like every time I dip into it, there's a little bit, but it's making the whole application already so much difficult because I have to dip in 5 times to get the amount that I want to conceal my face. I loved it. It's got 11 mils in it and I used it up. I think I did a fantastic job. I might actually consider repurchase, and I will recommend if you want something light to medium coverage and very easy to blend. No stress, is not crazy a lot, lasting for a bit of a long time. I would say 6 to 8 hours, nothing too long, but you know, for that adequate time, this is actually really good. But I have like 20-30 concealers at the moment, so I'm not buying it. And then I've also used up this is actually more for like a beauty tool now. It's a cushion compact. It's called a Beauty Artisan from YesStyle. It's a little bit dirty, sorry. I don't like this. I don't like the sponge inside. It's one of those sponge that has big holes and soak in a lot of product, and it can't press it. You can't take product out of it. Like they just had all the product in the sponge and you can't use it. Like the sponge is using the makeup. It's supposed to be me using it, not the sponge. You know, sponge is supposed to be holding the makeup provided to me, but sponge is taking over. So I don't like this one. I did keep the compact, like the outside box, because I do like that mirror. And then I have this one, which I got a feeling that I mentioned it before, the Hourglass eyebrow pencil. I don't know, I'll leave it here because I want to do a repurchase or something. This is actually really good. I've got it in the shade Arch, Arc, yes, or Ash, one of this. Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil. I love it so much, but I think it's just really little product in the full size ones. And then for someone only doing like half of the brow, I don't think I do like heavy brows, to be honest. And I still used it up within 3 months. I think it's a little bit quick, and Hourglass is not cheap. So I want to repurchase. I feel like this is why I keep it here, if I already mentioned before, but I haven't got a chance. Like I haven't justified myself to repurchase because I don't think it's worth the price tag, although it's a good product. And the last but not the least is a beauty sponge, and this is from Equal Tools. I love the sponge until I realized that I have those, one of these things, like the sponge holder, and I put it on there, but I've got a different one. Every time I wash it and put it on here, the next day I realize it actually like stick a little bit onto the holder, and I don't know, I had a holder for years and never happened, so I feel like it's actually the sponge wearing off or something, so I just get rid of it. It's one of the sponge, it's dense and it's bouncy but not so soft. I actually think the beauty blender, the actual beauty blender, is a little bit too soft to the point of when you bounce it on your face. I want to make sure I have that sort of bounce feeling. And beauty blender is like, ooh, it's like you're playing marshmallow, using marshmallow to do your makeup, and I just don't like that. So I do have a few beauty blenders, like the proper beauty blenders that I bought over the years, but I haven't been reaching them very often because I just don't feel like it. Moving on, let's go and talk about the masks over here. I've got quite a lot, but hopefully let's go through them quickly. Let's just get rid of this foot mask here because it's like, whoa, so obvious. This is the one that I got from ALDI, and I think it's really good. Big problem with ALDI products, especially the beauty product, this is not their regular line. This is one of those weekly catalog specials. So it's sold out already, but it has really good ingredients in here, and you only have to apply this one for 30 to 40 minutes instead of the regular one that is usually an hour. So I actually like this one. Exfoliating the foot. I know it looks ugly on here, but you rarely get to look like this. Like you gotta be so bad to have like this sort of appearances, and you pretty much leave it on without peeling it. I use this especially during the summer when I'm about to going out. I know I'm gonna wear thongs a lot, so I want to make sure I have a nice softer foot. I tend to use this. Once you finish using it, you can take yourself into the shower, have a quick wash, or I just got a bucket of water and I just, you know, sink my feet in, quick wash it, and then get it pat dry, put some moisturizer on, and it will go like absolutely baby foot after 2 weeks. And if you have really thick residual, like dead skin layers of them, try to use some AHA, BHA creams around it as well, so further exfoliating it and just, you know, to get an overall nice softer baby foot. Priceline also have similar things like this. It's around $10 per pack. The Japanese baby foot one, which is very popular, that one is like $30 or something, so I wouldn't go ahead and purchase that myself. I think the Priceline is good enough. I'll leave the Priceline link or the photo somewhere here so you guys can check it out. If you see this at ALDI, if it's still available or it become a regular line product, I would go ahead and buy it. I don't think it's as expensive as Priceline. This one maybe $7-8. The Priceline one is like $10. So very similar price tag, but you know, save a little bit. And then other masks, let's talk about something that I used up very recently. This is the VT Cica Bubble Sparkling Booster Mask, which is something I'll talk more about and when I go into my Korean skincare 1 month use report. I love this. You apply it on your face and forming a rich bubble. I can actually use a 10 gram in per pack, covering my entire face and also my neck, even some around my chest. Maybe I have a small face or I just don't apply it enough. I loved it, and then I get myself into the shower, wash it off. Oh my god, my face feels so smooth, so brightened. It has a teeny tiny of like cleansing ability, which they claim to be, but I reckon it's more that softness, that brightness. I really fell in love with this. I actually, if you watch my YesStyle and my calendar unboxing, I kind of dislike this, like what is this product? But now I'm like, I know it and I love it. More for facial mask, more about like cleansing mask. Let's talk about, I think I've got a Neutrogena one here. I saw it the other day. Yes, the Neutrogena Purifying Booster Peel Off Mask. I wouldn't go ahead and purchase this again, although I do have another one. So this is one of those products you apply on your face and then it becomes like a gel thing and you just pull it off. I do think I had a good result, but I hate the whole experience. It was pulling, including some hairs, of course, because you were literally pulling things off. And then I think I had residuals left in my eyebrows. I didn't like, you know, pull it so harshly, so I washed it off and that's all good, but I can imagine it can cause some accidents, and that pulling sensation is not super fun. Some people might think it's really fun though. If you love that, then you will love this, but it sort of clogged into my hairs a little bit. Maybe I just have too much baby hair, so for me it's not a super good product, but it did make my face feel so much cleaner. And then you use a BHA toner to shrink the pores, obviously, because they just peel off everything out of the pores, so it's actually doing good, but I wouldn't repurchase, if that's making sense. I've got two from Clinqieu. This is something I touch on in my recent empties when I talk about the brand Clinqieu. I love this. This is their starting treatment essential mask. They have the thing which is called Galatomyces ferment filtrate. It's the thing that SK2 also had, but SK2 has their own technology, their particular one they use, but they're all the same thing. I mean, generally they're very similar. So I love these, and this feels so nourishing on your face. Your entire face just boosted with water, feels hydrated and definitely brightened. So I wouldn't go ahead and purchase SK2. I'll just go use Clinqieu, and it's a lot more affordable. More of the Korean facial mask. I've also used up this one. I'm sorry, for my skin jelly mask, this is the brightening one. This is also a sheet mask, but the concentration is like a jelly feeling, so you almost like have gel on your sheet mask and you apply it on your face and you get it sink into your skin. I kind of liked it, but you know, not gonna be a point to repurchase. I actually received this from Stylewana as like their influencer pack. I think it's one of those masks that only hydrates the skin. So sheet mask, the basic minimal principle line is to hydrate. Some of the masks you apply 5 minutes, you feel like it's already super dry, I want to remove it, you know. Those are the masks I think they are considered as failed for me. But this one, it definitely hydrates my skin. I have tons of serum that you can reuse, reapply, you know, if you want to lather into the rest of your body. But it's just moisturizing and nothing else, so I probably wouldn't repurchase. But I'm happy if I receive in the future, I'm like, oh yeah, I know this one's at least is hydrating and it's workable for me. And speaking of hydrating, let's talk about this one, the AHC Premier Hydro Gold Foiled Mask. I've actually emptied one early this year, and I think I said something not so loving about it. So they have like 3 layers. They got a foil sheet, matrix, and a tensile sheet. So you remove those and you get the middle one on your face, and it contains like quite 50% of hyaluronic acid solutions here, and they also suggest you to put it in the fridge, change the color and all that. I just feel like, oh my gosh, it's too much. And when I used it, I found it was very sticky on my face. I almost like, my face cannot tolerate this much of the serum, and that's probably why I dislike it. So I get my mom to use this one. I said, Mom, see how you feel. I was hoping she's having the same idea, but she actually loved it. So she's more of a dry skin, so she needed that much of hyaluronic acid in here, so her skin feels like really boosted, while my skin is like, oh my gosh, I'm already choking, there's too much of water, if that's making sense. So if you're having a drier skin and you want some like rich hyaluronic acid all in one go for a quick treatment, this might be the one. And that is probably why it still had quite good reviews, although when I look at it, I'm like, no, I don't get it. My skin doesn't need this much of hyaluronic acid. So if you are someone like me, then maybe you don't have to waste the money. It's not a bad product, it's just not suited our skin tone. Skin types. Next mask is from the Body Shop. It's the Vitamin C Glow Sheet Mask. I've used this one last year before, and I use it again this year from my advent calendars. I haven't unboxing my advent calendar. I've unboxed it, but haven't done it in front of the camera. I wanted to do it with you guys. I just running out of time these days. But it was a really good advent calendar. So if you wanted to get one and you're wondering, I got the big one, the ultimate, the most expensive one, worth the money. Like overall speaking, I think it's worth the money. Anyway, this is their vitamin C mask. I cannot remember if they put in this year's or not. It's one of those masks, again, hydrating, nice sheet, not feeling sticky afterwards. You like, it's feel comfortable to use it, but I don't feel like it brightened my skin. Maybe just a smidge, which I wouldn't be considering as like, oh, it's a brightening effect. It's just like, maybe because of the water molecules make your face look slightly bit brightened. So I wouldn't go ahead and purchase myself, but if I ever purchase on the Body Shop website and I need a free shipping, I would definitely add this one on. So, you know, I like it, not loving it, but I might consider repurchase, depends on the circumstances. And the next one that I would actually repurchase is the Olay Luminous Niacinamide Plus Vitamin C Sheet Mask. They do have different ones, and this is one of their new ones. I love it so much I have bought the whole box, so 10 pieces in there. This is how much I love it. This one says one sheet mask contains half of the actives in a bottle, like compared to their treatments. So it's normal for them to charge you for a slightly higher price tag, I guess. This one is not cheap, it's like $8 or something for half price sale. I believe $8 or $5, I cannot remember. So it's not very affordable considering Olay the brand and only one sheet mask instead of like a whole box. But I do found it's really good of brightening my skin, get rid of that dullness, and I'm very hydrating. So I actually like it if I'm saying exercise today during the daytime and I apply this afterwards. If it's nighttime, I wouldn't necessarily go for vitamin C, but it's always a good boost if you want it. So I would consider an Olay's sheet mask, like the actual sheet. They've improved heaps. They're really good now, like super fit on different types of face shape. And even if I talk, I feel like the sheet mask is still on me, and that is brilliant. The last but not the least for the facial sheet mask is this one. I cannot pronounce the name just in case I got it wrong. Rejuvenating like peptide gel masks. So this is one of those masks they separate into two, cut off around your nose. So this is like the upper half and the lower half. I didn't have a memory point for this one. I think it was okay. Like it wasn't to a point like, oh my god, I want to remember this. I want to know more about this brand. It says clinical skincare. No, it leaves no memory point to me. I think it was just very so-so. I had gel masks before, and I think Dr. Levin's gel masks are way better than this. I definitely see a difference. This is not, I cannot even remember it. So I did use it a while back, but you know, I pretty much remember the majority of the masks that I use, but not that one. Alright, I've got a couple of eye masks. Two from the brand is another Korean brand, the JM Solution Vita Cocoon Hemp Fit Eye Masks. These two, they're good, but they're not to the point that like I would run and repurchase and say, everybody, let's go get it, you know. It's very lightweight, and because they have those mesh feet cocoon sort of design. It's like a little web thing that you put it under your eyes. It's still like that sort of crease shape. It doesn't slice down, and even if it slides down, you can just easily put it back up. It's very lightweight. Like the sheet was so lightweight, has no heaviness feeling whatsoever, and it's very moisturizing. It's saying having 8 different kinds of vitamins to help surround eye areas to be bright and healthy, and also look younger by performing skin lifting effect. I don't think I see the lifting, but it's very hydrating, so I feel my eyes feels like very boosted with water molecules after I finish using this. And I actually enjoyed it, but like I said, I wouldn't go run and repurchase it. But if you see this on sale, I'll be like, yeah, I want to add it into my cart. The next one is something I really like and probably will repurchase, but not recently because I have a lot. The Dr. Levin's, this is too shiny. I want to show you guys without blinking too much. The Line Smoothing Complex S8 Hyaluronic Acid and Caffeine Eye Mask. This one definitely feels a little bit more heavier than the one that I just mentioned. It was like the proper gelish feeling, and you stick it under your eyes. It pretty much doesn't fall, but I guess if you're running around, like sometimes I go up and down stairs, it will slide a little bit. This one, I more like the ingredients more, and that's why I love it more than the Korean one I just mentioned. Korean one is just more like a therapeutic, eye mask. This is something make a difference for my under eye. I definitely feel like it brightens up my under eye, not just in the water molecules, but also the ingredients make the dark circles faded away just a little smidge. So I love using both of these, but if I only have to pick one, I would go for the Dr. Levin's. So that was all the masks. That was pretty good. And the last but not the least are my sunscreens. I've used that 4 sunscreen in the last 6 months. And some of these had a little bit left because they're gonna expire. And there are a few, if you watch my decluttering videos on my sunscreen, I used some and then it got expired. So I didn't even include it in my empties because I don't consider them as emptied. So that is why I don't use as many sunscreen as I thought I would. The first one is the Australian Gold Mineral Lotion Non-Greasy Botanic Sunscreen. I've talked about this so many times. Actually, I should talk about it more, but because it's not available here in Australia, that's why I am not talking about it. This is their old packaging. They've changed new packaging and it expand their shade range, which is really good. I'm not planning to buy that one though, because I'm just focusing like locally, whatever I can get to ship to Australia. This one cannot, so I'm not adding this on my list. This is so good. This is a mineral sunscreen, has the tint on. The tint A was good enough. And speaking of the tint, I thought my mom wouldn't like it because she doesn't want color on her face, but I left it at home the other day and she just used it and she said, that sunscreen, it feels so good. It's got a little bit of color, but make my skin looks better. Exactly how I feel about the sunscreen without telling her, warning her, or giving her a hint of anything. And she loved it. That just means how good this product is, and that is why so many people love about it. So if you're living in the US or you can get your hands on it, you want to try it, don't hesitate. Go ahead and get it because it's worth the money. And it's not expensive. Next one is a Australian brand, Natil Sun Care. This is their broad spectrum sunscreen SPF 50+. I've got Chinese right here sunscreen for my grandma to use. She loved this, but she thinks this is a little bit sensitive around her eyes, but I feel like she applied a little bit too as in much around her eyes. I wouldn't go like heavy around my eyes. I would go heavy around my face and then just cover the eyes, and I reapplied it for a few times, but I think she just went heavy on it. But if you are very sensitive, I think this is a point you might want to consider. Apart from that, it's really good. This is also a chemical sunscreen. I love this. I think this is really good that I actually put it in this DIY cushion foundation to mix with my makeup to make like this reapply touch-up thing, which I know some people don't enjoy that, but I did have a video just in case you're wondering what I put it in. I'll leave it somewhere so you can have a look. But again, that sort of choice is up to you. I know why you don't like it, but I just couldn't find a better way and I wanted to do it that way. Sometimes you just wanted to do it. And then the next two are from Keratin, is their Sense Care SPF 50+ and their anti-aging 50+ sunscreen. These two, don't worry about the names. Whichever you get is going to be exactly the same. It's kind of greasy, but it's a very workable sunscreen. Like, back in the day, sunscreen are so peeling, greasy and tacky. This one only have greasy left. Everything else, they all covered it. But if you don't mind that greasy feeling, or if you want to apply it on your body, you know, the greasy feeling won't be as bothering as on the face. Well, that's at least how I feel it. It's not tacky, it's just a little bit too shiny, oily by the appearances. So I can actually use it on my body, and I found they're really good. Like, they're really good in terms of preventing blocking UV and UVB. Both of these are chemical sunscreens again, but they were both very, very affordable. So I'm really glad I finished these two, and I kind of like appreciated they're workable, but I wouldn't repurchase. It's not my favorite. And I think that is everything for this empty, and that is everything for the 2021 empty series. I hope you guys really enjoyed this series. Thank you for sticking with me until the very end of this video. If you like today's content, don't forget to give me a like and consider subscribe down below. Don't forget the giveaway is about to upload it, so very soon. If you haven't decided whether to subscribe or not, I think this is the time to click that subscribe button so you can join the giveaway. I really appreciate you guys watching all the way till now, and also supporting me all the way along from the day when I started YouTube. I think I should say this in my giveaway, and I don't think I said that, but I definitely said thank you. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely day. Enjoy some holiday times with friends and families. If you're going out, don't forget sunscreen, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Let's stay safe and stay positive. Bye!